York's #1 for throwbacks.
Hey y'all, and welcome to Tany Talks Live. This is the second segment of the show, my favorite segment, where we get to talk about the special guest. And our special guest today is Mr. Johnny Fastlane.
Peace, y'all. It's your boy Johnny Fastlane here.
All right, so let's get to know a little bit about Mr. Fastlane. So, Fastlane, what's the vibes? I know it's not your last name. Why Fastlane?
Yeah, so, all right. So the name comes from, literally, man, I was like chilling. I used to be a rapper.
I used to be a rapper.
G-Unit South. You know, I'm from New York, but I lived like in Texas for a little while. And I linked up with some dudes, G-Unit South, and my name was Past the Fifth. So if y'all Google that, y'all probably see like some old like raps and stuff, like song with me and like Waka Flocka from back in the day or whatever. Anyway, so there was a situation with like, you know, my name and copyright infringement and everything like that. And like every single time that when I moved back to New York, I tried to like post up stuff like on like different blogs and MySpace and things like that. I mean, we'd get taken down because it was like, you don't own the rights to this music. You don't own the rights to your name, none of that. So, you know, got to get your business in order. And so my mom at the time, she was like, I don't know, just be Johnny Fastlane. Like she just literally
came out of nowhere?
Out of the blue, out of nowhere. And I was like, all right, cool, that'll be it. Like we didn't sit down and think about it. It wasn't like it was like 2 seconds. Johnny Fastlane sounds good to me. And I was like, cool, boom. And it was Johnny Fastlane ever since then.
What? That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So where you from? You said you're from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, Flatbush, born and raised.
Flatbush, Brooklyn. What was it like growing up in Flatbush, Brooklyn? Do you like live with siblings? Did you live in a nice house? Did you live in a hood? What's the vibe?
I lived in a pretty cool neighborhood. I have one sister. She's close to my age, like
Only
2
one?
years
It's
younger
just
than
you
me.
two?
Yeah,
Aw.
it's us two.
That's nice.
We both
A
like
boy and a
little
girl.
redheads, you know, Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy. Yeah.
I love that. That's adorable.
And basically, I mean, yeah, we grew up in a nice neighborhood. There was like, we grew up in a house, you know, even though it was Brooklyn and it's Flatbush, there's these, like right by Prospect Park, there's like these huge houses over there. So my mom had one, she still lives there now.
Oh,
even.
nice. Shout out to mom.
And yeah, man, we grew up there. We used to play outside with kids and everything like that. I went to school, you know, junior high was in Brownsville in the hood.
Okay.
My high school, Science Skills, was like kind of near Flatbush Extension near the Manhattan Bridge.
Okay.
So yeah, like literally born and raised, grew up, went to school and everything in Brooklyn. So I experienced a lot of stuff, man. I mean, I enjoyed my childhood. It was fun. It was cool.
Did you go to college?
Nah, so right after high school, I went to the Air Force. You know, I was in the military for a little while.
To the Air Force, they
yeah,
say.
you know, and that's when I linked up with like G-Unit South and everything. So I was rapping. I was in
can't.
Korea.
Y'all hear this story?
I was in Las Vegas. I was everywhere, you know. But I was rapping and everything with my friends. It was me, one of my homies named Tim North, another homie named Trill. He was from Alabama. And we just put together like this little group called the Supreme Team, and we was just rapping and recording like in dorm rooms and stuff. It was fun. It was dope.
Really?
Yeah.
So what made you want to made you say, okay, I'm going to do not only just media, but I'm going to do like radio? Like what made you want to be so heard? I know you said you was a little chatty.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, so First, I was doing like videos, you know, the news and everything like that. Then that was cool with me. I was fine. People were loving it. They were gravitating towards it. But then people started wanting to be interviewed by me, right?
Nice.
They wanted interviews. And so I started interviewing people, and I would like pay a certain amount of money for a studio for like 2 hours, right? Or, you know, pull up on somebody in their hood. One time I interviewed Schmandog, who's GS9, Bobby Smurder's homie, but I went to his block and did that, right?
Interesting.
And it was all the hots was right there behind. It was crazy, but it was dope though, you know?
Right.
But then I said, I want to like be a little bit more comfortable to do these interviews. I don't want people in my crib. So I was like, I guess, you know, the best thing to do is just have a radio show, because then I can have people come to the radio show at a certain time, a certain day, and we could do it like that, you know? And so that's how that happened. Really.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Oh, you know, I want to ask you too. So tell me a little bit more about them interviews that you've done. So throw out some more names, and has there been any weird ones?
Okay, so I gotta say, I interviewed Connie Diamond.
Oh, I'm so
Like
jealous.
when
I
she was humble, her management
Bronx
was
girl.
dope.
I
Yeah,
love her.
I mean, fire ass interview. She was really chill, you know.
I love
So that was fun. I'm just happy and like proud to see her doing her thing. She signed to Def Jam now.
Good for her.
She probably will be like double XL freshman. I think they're dropping the list probably in like 2 weeks, like on the 21st.
Oh
Double
my
XL is
gosh.
dropping the list. I've
Who
had
else?
weird
Who else?
interviews as well. I don't want to say his name, but there was this one rapper.
All right, you don't have to say his name.
And
Let's-
he's from
let's say.
Philly, right?
Okay.
And he's very much has like vibes that's like Little Uzi Vert.
Okay.
He looks like Lil Uzi Vert. He sounds like Lil Uzi Vert. His hair and everything is like it. And so I'm like, yo, okay, you're from Philly too, just like Lil Uzi Vert. And during the interview, I'm like, anybody ever compare you to Lil Uzi Vert, you know? And he's
God.
like, of course,
Did he
he
get
was
mad?
kind of like, he didn't get mad, but he was just kind of like, why are you asking me that? But he didn't say why you asking me that. He was just like, you know, and I'm like, okay, so you know, just trying to
felt
like
it, right?
trying to move on past that. One time I interviewed this drill rapper from the Bronx.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say her name either, but we were talking, and the interview started out really good. It was a 2-hour interview, so
Wow,
long
that's
ass
long,
interview.
bro.
And so you know, she's smoking and drinking during the interview, and so like by the time we had like
Wait.
about 45 minutes left, she was like all fucked up. You know, like her whole mood had
But,
changed.
whoa. By 2 hours, I would have been wasted too. Like,
She was fucked up.
What?
And so I'm sitting here trying to talk. I'm like, so asking her questions. Like, oh, so what you think about this? You know? And she's like, yo, man, see. And I'm like, yo, this is not going well now. You know? And so definitely a little weird. But I never like been in an awkward situation where people like got aggressive or like, yo, what you do? Nothing like that. Just a little like, all right, you good? You know, type thing. So
do you ever feel like it's hard to ask a question during an interview?
No, I mean sometimes if I know I'm gonna try to ask like a controversial question,
Yeah.
honestly, I'll kind of check in with the person
First,
beforehand.
as you should.
You know,
That's so good.
So I'll say like, I kind of want to talk about this and this and that, and what you're doing with Lil Durk. I interviewed one of Lil Durk's artists, and
Right,
he had
right.
some other charges that. Or some other allegations that turned out to not be true,
Right.
but they were very controversial. And I was like, you know, maybe I want to touch on this to give
Right,
you
right.
an opportunity to say your side of the story. But he wanted to stay away from that completely.
Understood,
You know?
understood.
And I respected it. And that was before we even started the interview. So
Right.
I don't have that awkward situation where I'm asking him and he's like, yo.
Yeah,
what's
out of
going
nowhere,
on?
out of the blue. Yeah, I always make sure that I let my guests know what questions I'm going to ask first, and
Yeah.
if they have any boundaries, because I'm not in the market of
Yeah, I'm not trying to put you on blast. I don't want to ask you like who you sleeping with or ask
Yeah.
you about your baby mama. Like we could keep this about work and music. Let's talk about your project, what you got coming up, your shows, your process
Right.
in the studio. We could keep it definitely business. I don't have to ask you
Right.
about your personal life, you know,
Right.
and your mommy and your daddy and all that stuff, you know? Like I'm not interested in that.
No, you don't care about that. I mean, it depends if it's juicy.
I mean, I'm in love with hip hop and I'm in love with like the different characters that are in hip hop and,
Right.
and what they do. So I guess like that could give context and
Right,
motivation
right,
around
right,
why
right.
they do certain
Right.
things. But I don't want to put them on blast like that either though. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, that's not my vibe. I mean, a lot of people do run off like their content in that way, and I feel like it's super duper like scary. So tell me a little bit about your show. I want to hear all about it. Tell everybody.
Yeah, so my platform is called Let's Talk Hip Hop, right? And I have a few different shows. There's like a few different legs to Let's Talk Hip Hop, and it's all called Let's Talk Hip Hop. It's all the same thing because it's like under one umbrella, right? So that's the brand.
Right.
So when I work with, let's say, like allhiphop.com, they've been around for 25 years. They just interviewed
outs to
T.I. They were at, Summer Jam. They do a lot of like dope historic interviews, especially in the East Coast here in New York.
I love that.
They saw my content on Instagram and they reached out to me and said like, hey, would you
good.
like to provide some content for our platform? Because we want to go a little bit more video based as well.
Right, right.
And so I said, yeah, I could bring my brand, Let's Talk Hip Hop, to you guys and we can collaborate, you
Right.
know? Also, because of them, I had a show on Caffeine TV with Shantae Waynes. The show got canceled, but
It got canceled.
Shantae Waynes, one of the Waynes people.
That's big,
but
yeah.
she's not as old as them, so she's like younger around my age. And
Still a big deal.
Of course,
Like, hello.
It's a daily hip hop show that we had, and it was called Let's Talk Hip Hop as well, where we would like run through just everything that's going on in hip hop today. Nelly and Ashanti are getting back together, or whatever it is. And she's a comedian too, so she would like say a lot of funny stuff.
Yeah.
While I would be informative more on the hip hop side, and we would kind of go back and forth and banter. And it was cool like that. I also have a radio show called Let's Talk Hip Hop, where same thing, a 2-hour show where like the first half we talk about the artist or whoever I'm interviewing. You came to
Yes,
Let's
I
Talk Hip Hop, and we
did.
talked
I
about
loved
like
it.
your platform as well.
Right.
And then the second half of the show we talk about what's going on in hip hop, the
We
drama.
were talking about the Kendrick Lamar,
Right, and
Drake beef.
Yeah, we talked
and
about
J.
all
Cole
that stuff.
apologizing and bowing out.
Right, right.
It was juicy, y'all.
So that's what I do. I just take my brand, Let's Talk Hip Hop, on the road kinda, and whoever's around me, I'm roping them into talking some hip hop with me.
I know, that's right. Hello, you gotta keep it going.
For real.
I love that so much. So like, do you ever find yourself like having any challenges doing what you're doing?
I mean, yeah. There's always challenges. There's like creating the subject that we're going to talk about,
Right.
Coming up with ideas to continue to talk about. If it's a slow news day, like what do I do? Because I'm going to come out with these videos today, like still, but there's nothing going on. So
felt that.
how do I come up with something good that people still want to watch where I'm not like stretching or trying to embellish the truth,
Right.
Dealing with people like other artists, showing up late or just not showing up at all or whatever the case may be.
That is so frustrating for me, and I
always tell myself is like back in 2018 when I started this thing, I wasn't thinking about, rapper X coming to my show. So if he doesn't show up or if he's like really late, the show must go on. I'm not going to let rapper X, mess up my thing
Right.
because like this is bigger than him. This
Right.
is
You're
before
right.
him
You're right.
and it's going to be after him.
I had to do a show by myself one of these weeks on this season because the artist canceled like 15 minutes before, and I was like,
Wow.
yeah, and I was just like, well,
Yeah.
the show must go on.
You
know
gotta
what
do
I mean?
it. You gotta
And
talk to your
It was so
people.
heartbreaking because I was like, almost like I wanted to cry. Like, I have to do the show by myself after I got everyone so excited about the guests coming in. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, so knowing that I'm not the only one that kind of knows that it hurts, but you got to keep going.
It happens all the time. I mean, there've been
Good to know.
a few situations
the
where
only
like me and my co-host Butter,
Yeah, love her.
Somebody would not show up and it'd just be me and her, doing the
Yeah.
show. But sometimes the audience, they're like, I kind of like when it's just you and Butter, because
Yeah.
you guys can bounce back and forth and like really get into things and talk,
Yeah.
and we still play music and we, talk about current events. She'd be like deep diving, she'd be talking about politics and everything. And I was like, oh my God.
Here she go.
Right. But I'm like, all right, Butter now, but it's cool,
That's good. It inspires me to be better. So
I love
I'm so
that.
glad. No, for real, you have no idea. So I'm like gonna take all the tips and tricks that I can, and I hope you guys and everybody watching, really got a chance to learn a little bit about Johnny Fastlane and what he does, and get inspired by the conversation here on Tany Talks. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go into another musical break, okay? And then when we come back, we're gonna learn some more stuff about Johnny Fastlane and what he has coming up in the future for y'all, okay? We're gonna go into this song right now. It is by my girl Disney Ameka, and it is called Handle.
The kids have their station. Now you have yours. The new Party 1019. New York's number one for throwbacks. New York's number one for throwbacks.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Tany Talks Live, okay? This is episode 5, and our special guest today is Johnny Fastlane.
Peace.
He is a radio personality and a media host. And for this segment, we're going to dive in a little bit deeper into what Johnny Fastlane does and why he does what he does so well, okay? So let's talk about it. You said that you've done many interviews. Is there any people that you aspire to interview in the future? Like, who is on your list? I need 3 people that you would interview and why.
I think that for me, I want to interview like some of like my favorite artists when I was coming up.
Right.
Like if I could interview, R.I.P. DMX, I would have loved to interview
that would've
DMX.
been so good, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like to sit there and be like, yo, what you was thinking when you did this? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, like I was excited. Like I'm a fan. Like for that, I would have been like, but people that's still alive, like Styles P, I would love to interview him.
I saw Styles P recently on a for the 420 Bud Drop. He was there.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it was dope. It was very old school vibes. I was loving it.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I want to do. Like if I had a dream interview, like young people, cool. I interview them all the time. Like I said, Connie Diamond, Capella Gray, and stuff. But like people that I really want to would be somebody I grew up listening to. Like it would be like a dream to like pull up on Snoop Dogg and ask him some questions.
A legend.
Or Nicki Minaj even. Like let me get some questions from Nicki Minaj because she would show out.
I get 5 seconds with her. You have no idea.
She would show out. One time I pulled up on Remy Ma and I asked her a few questions, and so that was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like legends, I would just love to do that.
Okay, so we said, well, can I have someone else that's alive?
Okay,
DMX,
so
we got
Styles
two.
P.
Styles P. Are we counting Nicki Minaj?
Snoop Dogg and Nicki Minaj.
Snoop Dogg and Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
Why would you want to do Snoop though?
Because Snoop is a legend. I think that Snoop is the most famous rapper. Like if you sit and think about it, he's the most famous rapper on the planet. He's in people's living rooms. He's on people's TVs. He
is on multiple platforms where he's not just music.
Rap. He's had a very long career.
Right.
The only other person I would say that's like comparable to Snoop Dogg would be Will Smith, as far as like a rapper who is so famous and has such a big platform. Like Will Smith, I would love to interview him too. He's going on a press run right now.
I mean, I would
Bad
think
Boys
like
dropped
Ice
yesterday.
Cube too, and like 50 too. When we think about people who
yeah, Ice Cube was cool. 50 Cent doesn't really do interviews, but but yeah, they're on that same level as well. But Snoop and Will Smith, the Fresh Prince,
Snoop and Fresh Prince. Okay, I can hear that. So where do you see yourself going in like 5 years from now?
So what I'm doing is building a whole conglomerate, like a Let's Talk Hip Hop thing, right? So as I move through this thing and as I rise up, like I said in the beginning of the interview, like a TMZ of hip hop is like really what I'm developing, right? So like people like I can't just do it all by myself. I'm one person, I'm one personality, right? So literally like people like you know, we have a dope bond, we work together, this is the second time. Okay, I'm gonna keep you in mind and be like, yo, when this shit, sets up and I have this platform, yo, Tany Talks, I got a job for you. I got you right here. I got a studio for you. I got you hosting this show about this subject, as I have other people doing it too, and just kind of coming together like the Avengers to like really have a huge like hip hop situation, or not even hip hop at that point because I'm the hip hop guy, but it would be like a culture situation because like you don't always talk about hip hop and that's cool. You can talk about what you want to, but still from the lens of the culture.
I love that. I can totally see it going someplace. I see the vision, and I think I've seen the vision and the potential for the vision when I met you. You know what I mean? And I was just like, Johnny really got something going on right here. Like I don't know what it is, but it's just like you can just tell when somebody is working hard, and like it. Like I feel like you are no stranger to like hard work. I see you constantly out there, like putting out your content. Like this man is nonstop, and I also just want to ask, like, how are you staying on top of it? Like, how do you know? Like, do you get notifications, like TMZ notifications to your phone automatically that this man is on it? So tell me, I need to know.
I mean, I do be on it. So yeah, I do get TMZ notifications. I be on Twitter. I'm deep diving. Also, it's the fact that like I already know kind of like I can see what's gonna happen in hip hop a little bit. Like I can predict and see the climate of what's gonna happen.
It's the beard. It's giving him wizardry.
I don't know. So I'm
it's
like, I know exactly what to look for. And then every morning I get up and I just dig deep into it. Also, I have people like that work at different record labels and stuff that will like tell me information and give me like inside scoop on certain things. And I know a little bit of people. And so between like looking at news, really digging deep into like social media, even saying what the fans are saying, my own predictions, and TMZ, like putting all that together, I'm able to come up with like a really good, current, informative, and entertaining story and narrative behind different things that's going on.
So what is like your time frame for getting things out? Like if something happens, what do you do? I need to know, like, what's the Johnny Fastlane recipe? What do you do?
So, okay, let's say that, right now it's 4:45 on Saturday, and let's say I go outside and I see a New York rapper from Harlem getting arrested as I'm walking to McDonald's or whatever, right? I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, he's getting arrested, right? I'll find out all the information, film it a little, because always a little video footage is good too.
Of course.
In that.
Yeah.
Then I am running to the studio and I'll record it. If I'm just doing that one story, it would literally take me like 5 minutes to record it. I don't write anything down or anything like that. I just kind of like freestyle off the top of my head. I kind of know what things I want to say.
Yeah.
So then when I hit the camera, I do it all in one take. Peace, y'all. It's your boy Johnny Fastlane here. So this situation is crazy, man, because Bop just got arrested. I was right there. You see this video footage right here? The cop put him all the way up in the jail, you know?
All the way
I don't know
up
if he's going to get bail or anything like that. And I think it was because he got into a fight with somebody at McDonald's. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments, you know? And then boom, edit it up a little bit, upload it, and literally I'd say like within the hour, that's out.
Wait. So let me ask you, because I know when you usually put out your content, right, you have like a white screen. How do you get the white screen in the back?
I mean,
You just put it back there? Like, how do you do that?
that's literally a white wall. You know, I started out.
You just find any white wall and you just start going?
Yep. I started out
In
with,
any random place?
yeah, if I have my camera, yeah. Like I started out with
I love the
a white
confidence.
screen in my apartment, but
Okay.
you know, now I'm wherever I can see like a clean white wall and I got my camera, boom, I'm doing
It's
it
happening.
right there. Yep, I got my mic and we're
Yo.
good, you know. Hopefully it's quiet, if not it's cool. And even if it's not a white wall, sometimes if you like really dig deep into there's thousands of videos that I have. So if I'm on vacation, I went to Mexico like in September,
Nice.
there's no white wall. I'm on the balcony doing the hip hop news, you know what I'm
Oh, I
saying,
love
for like
that.
2 weeks straight. Or like one time I did it in the lobby of the radio station that I go to.
Nice.
Because something happened right then and there, so we're gonna do it
like, I
now.
needed to
And
get
you
this
don't
out.
see the white wall, you know. One time I did it in my living room. In my living room, the wall is painted red, and so I did it there too. But most,
I love this.
80%, 90% of the time, it's the white background.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I like 80% of the time it is. And I'm just like, yo, how does he know it was hot exactly when it happens? Like, have you ever reported the wrong thing?
Rarely, but yes, it's happened. I can't even remember when, but I'll just like see something going on, something that's viral, and you think that it's this thing, but it's just really not.
It's really not.
It's definitely happened before. I'd say like once every 2 years or something like that. So not all that much, but it happens to everybody.
Yo, that's so funny. I feel like because like you know how sometimes some things come out and it's not what it seemed,
Right.
and you was so thirsty to like get it
Yeah,
out.
especially if you jump on it quickly and like
Yeah.
not all the information has come out yet. That can tend to happen, but also great for content because like Diddy, for example, now
Yeah.
I'm coming out with another video 2 hours later about a Diddy update and 3 hours later about another Diddy update. And so for, the same subject, I'm in the matter of 2 days, I done made 6 different videos about Diddy because we keep on learning new and more information.
It's literally getting ridiculous with the Diddy stuff. Like,
right.
It's just at this point, it's endless content.
It is.
It's like because it's like so many years and years of like
Yeah.
dirt undiscovered, so we can always run it back to the time when, you know what I'm saying? So it just never gets old. Sorry about you, Diddy, but yeah, you definitely gave us a lot of content to put out for a very long time. So much that they made a
documentary.
about it, but, like different ones though, like
Yeah,
different.
TMZ has one.
Everyone has.
There's one like
50
on Tubi.
got one.
Yeah, 50 got
like,
one that's coming on Netflix. Like, yeah, Diddy is...
He gave us a lot of juicy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Shout outs to you. You're giving me and Johnny Fastlane a job, keeping us busy, keeping us on our toes.
For real.
You know
That's
what
some
I'm
of the
saying?
best content, actually. You
Yeah.
know, like throughout, I think like March, I was in Jamaica, and that's when did they raid his house? No, that's when he first got sued. And
Oh no.
no, not by Cassie, but there was like somebody else that sued him. And for sure, like, I'm there like, okay, let's do it. Right in Jamaica, like quick,
Now,
viral.
we must do it.
And some of those videos have been like my most viewed content because people want to see and know about what's going on with Diddy. They
Right.
also know that they can come to Johnny Fastlane, who's going to be funny, who's going to be
Right,
entertaining,
right.
and then also really tell us what's going on for real without adding extra sauce on it or anything like that too.
Right.
You know?
Facts and facts only, okay? He's coming with the facts. He's
Yeah,
not.
word.
Well, I hope so anyway. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But my question to you is also, I was wondering, do you ever get exhausted knowing so much about people's business? Like, and I would say only because, like, do you feel like it's overwhelming or like you take on the drama? Because I feel like that's why I don't do like the news, because I kind of do want to like have a segment where I do like what's the buzz, like what's going on in the city and like whatever's happening. But then I feel like I also will get too consumed about what going on over there that I forget what's going on in here. Like, so do you ever find yourself like getting overwhelmed with knowing so much of stuff going on?
For me, honestly, I think that because I love hip hop so much, I would want to know anyway. So like if I wasn't turning on my camera and recording myself and telling you guys about it, I would still be doing the research. I would, because I want to know for myself, like what's going on with the Dream. He got sued for some like sexual assault things like last week or whatever, you know. I would want to know all about that anyway. So now that I know about it, I might as well just share the info.
Yeah. So you'll never feel like, because I would feel the pressure of knowing everything, you know, and having it to be out. Like, and it's like, if I don't put it out, then I'm not, you know, Johnny Fastlane. I'm not fast enough. You know what I mean? I would just feel like, I would feel the pressure, because like for me personally, it's like, now I need to know all, be all. I need to be everything that's going on. And for me, that's a little overwhelming. I don't think I could be on it the way that you're, like, I'm only interested in what I find interest in, you know. So do you only report what you're interested in, or do you feel the need to report what people feel like is interesting?
Yeah, so like when I first started, I definitely wanted to just report on what I was interested in, but everybody wants to know about every aspect of hip hop, from Soulja Boy to Nas, from Central C to Method Man, right? So even if I'm not necessarily interested in it, I still do report about it too, and I become familiar with what's going on so that the people can know, because like they kind of depend on me, and they're looking towards my platform for that. And it's cool. Like, it's definitely a feeling of satisfaction when, even if you didn't want to report on it necessarily, that you can still give people the info and just knock it out. And like I said, for me, it doesn't really take that long, so it doesn't like consume me like that, you know. It's like, all right, I'm doing it, it's one story. I don't like talking about Azalea Banks. I gotta talk about her again. And boom, bada bang, bada boom. It took 10 minutes out of my life, but the people now know what's going on with Azalea Banks, which is cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I would find it super overwhelming. Like, it's Tany Talks, but Tany talks about what Tany wants to talk about. You know, Tany talks about what you want to talk about. I can't keep up with the hype. Like, and I feel like, so like, other than the TMZ notifications, what else? Like, how do you say you got your friends that put you in on the plug, and you're just on it because you genuinely just care about what's happening.
Yeah, so I'm on it.
In the culture.
I'm digging deep into social media. I follow a lot of these people too. Yeah, exactly.
Everything.
I follow a lot of people. Also, people follow me. So I get to see what's going on with them. Like, there's certain rappers like Kinfolk Kia Shine. Styles P follows me, you know. So Noriega follows me. So like, there are certain people that like, okay, I could just literally go directly to like their social media, look in their stories, see what they're doing, see what they're having fun at, see if they're overseas, you know. Nicki Minaj.
Kind of put the story together.
Yeah, I'm in a group chat with like Nicki Minaj and a bunch, like, I can't really reply in there, but like there's a bunch of Nicki Minaj fans, and anything that she does, like she'll put pictures of her son in the chat or whatever. So if I'm in there and I see different things about her, I'm looking. I'm like, okay, what are we doing?
Don't be taking no baby's pictures, bro. Like, no, putting a Papa Bear up there like that. Don't do that to us. You know, that's our nephew. Leave him alone. Leave our nephew alone. It'd
be like family time, them at the amusement park or something like that.
Yeah, I saw them at the aquarium.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but how did those pictures get out? Because Nicki will put it in the chat, and then like the fans will take it, screenshots, or just download shit, and you know, put it wherever. You know, so yeah.
That's some creepy kind of stuff. But I wanted to sit here and thank Mr. Johnny Fastlane for tuning in with us on episode 5 of Tany Talks Alive. So you guys can also follow him on, go ahead with your tag.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. It's all Johnny Fastlane, JONNY, no H for the haters. Y'all gonna see me, that big ass red beard. Also allhiphop.com. Every single day, you're gonna see at least 3 or maybe even 4 video clips on there, but also on my Instagram, you're gonna see different exclusive videos on there. And on YouTube, you're gonna see other videos on there, all daily, that I'm dropping about what's going on in the hip hop news, up to like current stuff that's going on today, or at least last night, like, you know, Quavo and Ice Spice going bowling together. So yeah, you know, I'm on it.
All right, y'all. So if you want to know all things hip hop, go ahead and tune in to my boy Johnny Fastlane, guys. And thank you so much for tuning into Tany Talks Live. And I'll see you back next week for the next episode.